and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Today we are taking a look at the year ahead. So first, of course, a very happy new year to all of you. This week in the roundtable, we're going to be taking a look at the political happenings of the year ahead. We're going to see elections in Karnataka, in Telangana, and also at the year end, the elections in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan. Now, these elections are usually termed as the semi-finals because they take place just on the eve of the Lok Sabha elections in 2024. But they are no way, in a way, they indicative, because usually whichever party wins these elections sometimes also loses the Lok Sabha elections. But the party do get a fair idea of where they stand in a party discipline. And the most interesting part is, except for Telangana, most of these elections are being fought directly between the BJP and the Congress. And of course, there's a regional party, Karnataka also. But the big fight is really BJP and Congress in 2023. Will the Bharat Jodo have an impact? Will Kharge's presidency have an impact? Is the Prime Minister's role still, he still remains as the leader above the others? What happens to inner party discipline in Rajasthan especially, and also in Madhya Pradesh? Will that impact the BJP as it did in Himachal Pradesh? These are the questions we're going to be taking on the roundtable today. Joining me is Sanjay Singh, psychologist and political analyst. We have Rashid Kidwai, political analyst, commentator, and author. And we're also going to be joined by Neerja Chaudhary in a bit. But Sanjay ji, first, what is your predictions for the year ahead? This, the 3, 4, 5 big elections that are going to be taking place this year.
Priya ji, very difficult to make predictions right on the fifth day of this year. But we know that 9 states goes to poll, and if elections are also held for Jammu and Kashmir, that would be the 10th state. And if we look at the 9 states which certainly goes to poll in 2023, many of the states would witness a direct contest between BJP and the Congress. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Chhattisgarh, direct contest between Congress and BJP. And if we add 2 more states where there is a triangular contest, but Congress is in a serious contest, which is the Telangana, where the contest will be between Congress, BRS, and BJP is also inching ahead in Telangana. And we should not forget about Karnataka, which is going to be crucial election for Congress. It is a 3-cornered contest, but main contest between BJP and the Congress, while JDS also has a role to play. So if we look at these 5 states, Congress has a huge stake. BJP also has stakes, but Congress has bigger stake because Congress is in power at the moment in about, say, 3 states on their own, and in a couple of other states along with the allies. So if Congress manages to win a couple of these elections, that will help the party in boosting the morale of the cadre. That will help the party in putting things together. So it is crucial for Congress. For BJP, if BJP loses a couple of elections, we have seen that even in the many assembly elections held in 2022, say UP, Uttarakhand, even in Gujarat, and in few other states, price rise and unemployment was an issue. But still, BJP managed to win the election in these assembly elections, and most of these states BJP retained because the election got shifted to other issues, which are the national issues, the bigger issues, and especially, and also because a lot of people voted because of Prime Minister Modi. So what has happened is that the victory of BJP in many of these elections have overshadowed the real issues which are there on the ground. If BJP loses a couple of elections, election in 2023, my own sense is that these real issues will really become real. People would start talking about price rise and unemployment, and BJP would be pushed back because the BJP leadership would also start feeling that maybe 2024 election would start shifting on these issues of day-to-day necessities of the people, which is price rise, unemployment. That is why it is important for BJP also to win a couple of elections so that they are able to overshadow the real issues which are on the ground, which are connected to people's day-to-day life. If BJP is able to win this election, again, I would say that these real issues will get subsided and 2024 election would be held on the bigger issue. We should not forget that many regional parties have the stake. BRS has the stake in Telangana. Suppose BRS do not manage to win election, this whole idea of Chandrasekhar of becoming the national leader, that's going to get dampened. And there are other regional parties in Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura. Not Tripura, we don't have a regional party, but yes, left is there. So it is important for the left to do well if they want to keep their presence in Tripura. So it is
Or
important
anywhere
for
in the country,
Congress.
really.
It is important for it is important for Congress. It is also important for BJP, and regional party needs to have their own share of power in different states so that they remain relevant in country's national politics.
Okay. Rashid, it is, couple of takeaways from what Sanjay said, but basically, these elections are also, I would say, maybe a bit more important for the Congress than the BJP, because for them, really survival is at stake. All this reinvention, Bharat Jodo, Kharge as the party president, the Congress stakes, how do you see it?
Yeah, thank you, Priya, and happy New Year to everyone. And I think Sanjay ji has given a very good, precise, concise. It's very difficult to actually, Priya, to disagree with Dr. Sanjay Kumar when it comes to political psephology or the art of predicting elections and all. And many a times, to my delight, he's always on the spot on. So I agree with him. But I have a slight disagreement in the sense of when we say that this is semi-final. This is a very actually a television vocabulary. When we say that we tend to mix cricket and war vocabulary in the this kind of discourse. Many a time we have seen that the semi-final is actually very different from final. So therefore, whatever may happen in these 9 elections, it will have a very little in effect the bearing on that Lok Sabha, because the Lok Sabha again it will be Modi versus rest. And that is going to be a change. So last time, November in 2018, Congress had won actually Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. But when it came to Lok Sabha, out of that 60 odd seats of Lok Sabha, the Congress managed to win only 2 seats. So this is a very kind of odd thing out. Are we going to see something different this time? That's where I think Bharat Jodo Yatra is important. It started on a very abstract note, and all of us were very dismissive about it. But now, as it's entered into last, we can say that the Yatra has had its impact. It has set cat among pigeons. The fact that there is a saying, I don't know whether it's actually Mahatma Gandhi ever said it or not. It said कि कभी-कभी हम अपने विरोधियों के कारण आगे बढ़ते हैं. It's become applicable in case of Rahul Gandhi, who was seen as a kind of non-serious or someone who had not applied himself. And suddenly we see that he has become a lone dissenting voice. Whether it will translate into votes and all, I'm not so sure. But alternative platform is there. We see Mr. A.S. Dullat, we see Raghuram Rajan, we see Farooq Abdullah, we see Sule, we say Thackeray, we see everyone there. M.K. Stalin actually spoke very glowingly about Rahul Gandhi. So if Rahul Gandhi is not a contender, he has the ability to he will have that moral leverage to bring everyone along. So in that case, in that sense, opposition story is pretty exciting.
Interesting. We were talking about the Yatra, Sanjay ji. It may not bring electoral fortunes to the Congress. It's too early, perhaps. But Rahul's image, as earlier on, Mamta, everybody used to come to Delhi. Nobody used to meet Sonia Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi. Everybody used to meet Sonia Gandhi. Now Rahul, maybe he's positioning himself as the UPA chairperson or as someone who can bring people together.
We have been talking about Bharat Jodo Yatra, whether it is going to bring electoral dividends to the Congress or not. Yes, I would also agree it's too early to figure out what kind of electoral dividends Congress might gain from Bharat Jodo Yatra. But I think one point needs to be taken or noted very, very carefully. If you look at the 115 days of Yatra has attracted more and more people. People have joined the Yatra when it started from Kanyakumari. Now it is in the western UP. We have not seen people who were in the Yatra and earlier and they started leaving the Yatra. That's one sign of that the Yatra has been successful. It has attracted more and more people. Yes, we know that when Rahul Gandhi wrote the letter to several opposition leaders in UP, many of them sent their congratulatory message, but they refused to join the Yatra. That's one side of the story. But the point I'm trying to say is that it has attracted more and more people over last 115-20 days. That's the sign of growing acceptability of Yatra, growing acceptability of Rahul Gandhi as a leader. It will help Rahul Gandhi consolidate his position within the Congress. Yes, we may say he was the de facto president, but the way things were unfolding within the Congress, I don't think that he he commanded the kind of legitimacy a working president or a vice president or a de facto president should command within the party. If you speak to Congress leaders in confidence, many of them used to be very, very critical about his style of functioning. But I think those things would completely change now with this successful yatra of the last 115 days.
We're not, Rahul has done wonders for Rahul's image, as you pointed out, and Sanjay ji also agreed on that point. But beyond that, what happens? In terms, let's talk about specific states. Madhya Pradesh, you have an advantage of what's happening. Rajasthan, these are the states Congress can win if it wants to. Chhattisgarh or Karnataka. You do you think how is the Congress placed over there vis-a-vis internal discipline, leadership ambitions?
Yes, Priya. So as Dr. Sanjay Kumar was saying, there are actually 9 states and including Kashmir, 10 states. So 3-4 states are very important from a position or Congress point of view. And one state is, of course, state of Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. These states are very important. Now that's where a kind of leadership consolidation of Rahul Gandhi would help. Like it will have a sobering impact on, let us say, Shiv Kumar and Siddharamaiah in Karnataka or in Madhya Pradesh, Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath, etc. Remember, the Congress has a very strong presence in these states, and not to talk of Chhattisgarh, has very strong regional satraps. If the regional satraps can get their act together, then it can work. It can click like it's clicked in Uttarakhand. So the thing is that you need a kind of moral authority, which Rahul Gandhi has started representing. And then again, among things, you see, it will, if Congress does well in Karnataka, then Mr. Kharge's stature would go up, and it will streamline a lot of those functional things that are in a bit of a disarray. And the resources. I mean, we don't talk about, the money factor in an open sense, because we know how money comes and goes in political parties and in elections. But I think in that sense, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh have a very important role to play for funding of Congress for 2024 elections. So all these things, and, the emergence of Bhupesh Baghel as he's actually a dark horse. If he wins again, he's from OBC, he's doing all this like Rampath and, selling cow urine and cow dung, etc., to profitable stakeholders. So there are a lot of things are there in package in Chhattisgarh also. So if the Congress can win these 3 states, I'm telling you, 2024 story would look far more open and promising.
Your take on the impact of the state elections? There are about 9-10 states going, but the main ones are really, where there is a face-off between the BJP and the Congress straight, the 3 states in the north, plus Karnataka also, which is largely with, BJP and Congress driven. So how will that impact 2024 and Rahul's credibility as a leader?
Are you asking me or Rashid?
Yeah. Nija, you.
Asking me, yeah. 2-3 things before I answer this question, Priya. If you talk to the liberal elements who are opponents of the BJP, most of them think that 2024 is a done deal in favor of Narendra Modi. If you talk to the corporates, they feel likewise. But, the BJP is not showing signs of such super confidence in the way they are pulling out all stops. Amit Shah, 11 states, next 2 months, Nadda, his program day by day, ministers put to work in those 144 constituencies where the BJP was either in number 2 or number 3 position. So they are not showing that kind of, it's a done deal. It's a very interesting scenario. People ask this question, why not? Why is the BJP not coming across as so confident as it normally does? Of course, they are given to taking elections, even the local elections, very, very seriously, as if it's the last battle on earth to fight. But the second thing I would say is that Rahul Gandhi's Yatra, there is goodwill. And a lot of people have come even to have a look at it. Of course, there's curiosity element, but people have said one thing across the board, and that is nobody else has come to us walking like this. Walking 3,000 kilometers, and now, of course, wearing his T-shirt. I mean, it shows us a certain stamina of a
That shows he's physically fit, but is he politically fit?
Yeah. Now, that being the case, and if there is goodwill, that little bit of goodwill that lingers on in your mind, somewhere at the back of your mind, yeah, this fellow came to us. I may not have organization to translate it into votes, but will it, when it comes to pressing that button, what kind of an impact? I mean, to me, it's an intangible yet. How will it translate into more votes? Will it not? You and I, when we analyze, we say no because there isn't the organization to encash goodwill into votes. And that is a whole process and mechanism and a machinery that kicks into place. So those 2 points. But certainly if you talk about the state elections, I consider Karnataka very important, a bit like Uttar Pradesh, in terms of the psychological impact it could have. It's the first state apart of the northeastern state doesn't want to belittle the importance of that, but Karnataka will set the psychological tempo for the other states to follow. And again, people say there is an undercurrent against the BJP and in favor of the Congress. There are many question marks out there. The cases against Nikhil Kumar. Is he, as a result, going to soften towards the BJP? These are questions being asked yesterday from Karnataka, people in Karnataka. Will the factional fighting take its toll? Will Kharge emerge as the dark horse in Karnataka? So there are, as of now, the Congress is a front runner. It's a very good chance of making it. The BJP getting ready for it, and the hype over T20 that they are going to create between May and September. Will it make up for the loss of Karnataka and build up towards the winter elections, which is Telangana plus the 3 North Indian elections? So BJP is getting, everything they're looking into. Is the Congress doing the same? I mean, how much attention is Congress paying, for instance, to Karnataka to, sewing it all up? I don't know.
Okay. We're going to take a break and come back and continue this conversation, but a quick break. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable as we kick off the new year by taking a look at the political landscape ahead of the year. Sanjay, you heard what Neerja said also. Karnataka will really set the political mood and the tempo going. So, your reaction in terms of the way BJP is going to handling Karnataka also.
I did mention, and I think many of us would agree, that Karnataka is going to be a turning point in terms of how the momentum is going to build for the forthcoming assembly election as well as for 2024 election. But I wanted to say something on what Neerja ji was saying about why BJP doesn't seem to be confident about 2024 election. I have a slight disagreement on that because I don't believe that we should be reading too much about why BJP has started preparing so well in advance, focusing on the constituency where they were number 2, number 3, etc. When Prime Minister Modi was visiting Gujarat, he visited Gujarat several times and people were raising questions that BJP may not be in a firm position in Gujarat, and that is why Prime Minister needed to visit Gujarat so many times. And there are several other narratives of this kind. Remember 2017 assembly elections in UP when Prime Minister Modi was camping in Varanasi during the last phase of election. So all this were interpreted as BJP not being confident of their victory or BJP being on a slippery wicket. I disagree with that. I don't think BJP is on a slippery wicket, and that is why they are focusing so much on these 160, 180 constituencies. I think this is BJP's style of contesting election. They don't want to, merely win the election. They want to almost demolish the opposition. It's not they just are not satisfied by winning election. They want to win elections in a big way. We have seen that happening it has happened recently in Gujarat. It has happened in UP. It has happened in many other states. So that's my take on, and I'm sure, yes, we know that Congress is in a good situation in Karnataka, but I'm sure BJP would be preparing well, and BJP must be trying to devise strategies how how to contest the Karnataka Assembly elections. They also know their weaknesses in Karnataka. So BJP must be preparing well for the Karnataka elections.
Fair enough. So Karnataka turning point, but Rashid, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, is the Congress going to lose states where it has a fair chance due to its own inability to cope with discipline, especially in Rajasthan? And what about Madhya Pradesh?
Yeah, so I think Priya, Rajasthan is a real kind of open wound for the Congress, and there is no kind of treatment in store. I was recently there, and it seems like the whatever may be the outcome. I mean, Mr. Kharge is convinced that let's have a government in 23 December 2023, rather than lose the government now and lose power again. So that is a kind of calculation. I think there is not much of hope as far as Rajasthan is concerned either way. I think time is also running out for Mr. Sachin Pilot to bring any kind of change. And I think the central leadership of the Congress, including Gandhis, are totally helpless. They are just watching, and I think Ashok Gehlot will go down in history as one who defied the Congress leadership. So he's going to be in that Devraj Arts category of in the kind of Congress history.
I think that's your next column, Rashid.
The Congress has a very good, I think on the ground level, there's very good chance in Madhya Pradesh, ground situation, a lot of infighting going on, Scindia group, anti-Scindia group and all. Broader picture, Priya, I think 2024 is a very simple thing for the BJP to win, retain, or lose in the sense provide an opening for the opposition, and that is where I think Rahul Gandhi's visit to that Vajpayee Samadhi is significant, and all these things are there. Look, there are 4 states where BJP has done very well. I mean, last time, like in Bengal they had done well. I think 17 or 18 seats of Lok Sabha seat they had won in Bengal. Karnataka, they have 24 seats out of the 28. Now they had almost with that alliance with Shiv Sena at that point of time. In Maharashtra they had 42 seats. In Bengal, in Bihar they had almost 39 or 40 seats. So this big kitty, if there is a lot of change has taken place in all 4 states, that, and perhaps Dr. Sanjay Kumar can elaborate better. Now if that gets reduced, cut by half or something like that, which is not a very difficult thing in theoretical terms, I think the BJP is in for real trouble. If the BJP ends up getting 220, 230, 200 plus, they will, Mr. Modi or Mr. Amit Shah will find very difficult to form a government, and that's where the alternative thing comes in, and that's where all the other things comes in. I think the Congress has the mental calculation. They know that they cannot replace. So it is going to be like what happened, at that time, Janata Party and there was Charan Singh government and all. So they're looking at that scenario in a very, with a sense of purpose. It may look very absurd, but that's what it is.
Fair enough. But the point that Rashid also said, Rahul Gandhi visiting Vajpayee Samadhi. Nija, what do you make of that? What signal was he sending over there?
I think it's a very good signal of Bharat Jodo. We can have differences, but we don't need to be enemies. And that was I'm told that was his own idea to go to Vajpayee Samadhi, and then other Samadhis got added on, of course. So it was a good move, very, very sharp, smart move to make. I think the 3 states that Rashid, you talked about, the winter states plus Telangana Congress is nowhere in the picture. I mean, amazing how, United Andhra, which was the Congress's bastion not so long ago, the Congress is totally finished. You can say that. It's a BJP versus TRS. It's Jagan Reddy firmly in place versus TDP. TDP is drawing large crowds, in Andhra, which is a very interesting phenomenon taking place there to watch. But the other 3 states, Rajasthan, if it is true, Chhattisgarh, of course, people say the Congress has a fair chance. Madhya Pradesh, we don't know what the strategy is, what the Congress is going to do. In Rajasthan, if it is true that Sachin Pilot was told and promised that by the year end 2022, the change of guard will take place, and there were enough signs coming, enough straws in the wind to indicate, and it's still not being given effect to. And if what Rashid says is right, that if Mr. Kharge, who's been given the job of actually working out the nuts and bolts of that decision, feels that no, you cannot risk that fall of the government, and Mr. Gehlot is, if he's in a aggressive mood and can break the party, then what happens? Does Sachin Pilot hit the road? Or is he going to sit meekly and say, okay, I accept what you've told me over the last 4 years. आप मुझे झांसा देते गए, you kept postponing it, and now the final झांसा that nothing is going to happen. You see, and if by chance, suppose you take a completely hypothetical scenario, a Sachin Pilot moving out of the Congress party at the beginning of 2023, what is going to be the political impact on the Congress and what it's trying to do? So it's not so simple. I think certain decisions, they seem to be just postponing. I don't know how Mr. Kharge is going to deal with it, but everybody is certainly waiting to see what's going to happen in Rajasthan.
Actually, I know we're out of time, but I want to get Sanjay ji and Rashid on this. If Sachin Pilot moves out, what is Sachin Pilot's options, Sanjay ji?
I think the only option would be to join the, another political force which is prominent in Rajasthan, which is to join BJP. If he wants to set up his own party, we have seen in the electoral history of the country what happens if even a tall leader sets up his own party. Very rarely people have been successful. So I think the options are very, very limited. If he wants to quit Congress, he will have to join BJP if he wants to be relevant in Indian politics.
Your take on Sachin's future, if what you're saying, feeling is coming true, and
I have a very different view. I think Sachin will stay on because he's a very mature politician. He knows that he's a misfit in the BJP in terms of his ideological frame, and so is his problem with perhaps the Aam Aadmi Party would be interested in him, but then again dealing with Mr. He's not Bhagwant Mann. He's dealing with Mr. Arvind Kejriwal can be very difficult and tricky, as many of our friends have learned the hard way. So this is it. I think Sachin age is on his side. He will bargain for it within the Congress, and he's a pragmatic person. I mean, behind all his youth and military skill and all, I think he's a very, very calculating, sensible politician.
Okay. On that note, unless Neeta, you want to add one quick line on Sachin's future?
I think he'll probably hit the road inside the Congress, even if he becomes CM, and if he doesn't, he will probably hit the road. And because this is his moment, if he lets this moment go, and he will lose the support he has.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a very interesting year to watch, both in terms of parties and individuals like Sachin Pilot. So we're going to keep this conversation going. But as of now, thank you so much for watching this show. And we hopefully have you all back again soon for another conversation. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.